everyone, this is Robyn and welcome to mypinkstamper.com. I have a wonderful tutorial for you today. I hope you feel the same way. I'm going to be doing a little bit of embossing, and I'm also using our amazing Stampin Blends with this patterned paper here. And I want to start, I will show you everything. I just like to jump right into my projects. I hope that's okay. And I will show you the item codes for everything I'm using to make this project. They'll all be across my screen, and you can order anything you'd like directly from my shopping page at mypinkstamper.stampinup.net. But I'm going to start with the coloring, and I am going to show you the awesome paper that I'm using. This paper is called Petal Passion, and it's all black and white. So if you just want to use a black and white background for your scrapbooking, your boxes, your bags, your tags, your cards, anything that you make with paper, you can also color these using our Stampin Blends, our Stampin' Write markers, our watercolor pencils, our ink pads. But I'm going to go ahead and be using our Stampin Blends, and I've cut a piece here, but it's an amazing assortment of 12 by 12 designer paper that you can get. This piece here is 3.5 by 4 3/4. I'm going to speed up the part where I'm coloring it with the Stampin Blends, but first I'm going to show you the colors that I'm using. I'm using quite the variety. Now what I love about our Stampin Blends is these are alcohol-based markers, and they coordinate with our palette of colors that we carry in our catalog and in our product line. So you can get any of the cardstock to match this and coordinate. All of our designer series paper will also work with this, the different collections. So you can purchase them individually for $4.50, or you can get them in the combos. There's a light and a dark for every color that we carry in this line. You can get them in a combo pack for $9. It's really nice because if you use one color more than you use another color, for $4.50 you can just buy a new one and there's no problem. It's really a quick and simple solution. You can also purchase these in the whole entire Stampin' Blends pack, which is what I recommend, because you can just add a little more to your order and you can be your own hostess yourself and get your own rewards. And that is always the best value for your money from mypinkstamper.stampinup.net, which is my shopping page. All right, we'll jump right in with the coloring. Alright, I have it all colored now. It probably seemed to went really fast to you guys. It took me a little bit of time. I wanted to talk a little bit about our Stampin' Blends markers. So if you noticed, you probably didn't because it was going so fast, but I was doing a little bit of blending. I went outside the lines. I just had a lot of fun with this. These really color like butter. So if you haven't tried them yet, I highly recommend them. I love them so much. All right, let's move on. We are doing a little bit of an embossing on this card as well. So I have a piece of our vellum cardstock, and this is 8.5 inches by 1.5. I think it's 1.5. Let me check. I have it on the wrong side. This is our Stampin' Up! Grid paper, and it actually has a ruler on it, which is super nice when you need a ruler and to measure something. Okay, so I'm going to start with our our embossing buddy, and this helps so you don't get the static all over when you're embossing, so I have that on there. The stamp set that I'm working with is our Beautiful Day stamp set. This is one of my absolute most favorite stamp sets in the brand new catalog. I haven't played around with it a lot yet, but I will. I will be making projects with the butterfly and the flower and the different sentiments, but I'm using the Happy Birthday, May Your Day Be As Beautiful As You Are. So I'm going to use that, and I'm just going to be stamping it with the Versamark. This is a watermark pad, but this is what I use when I'm embossing different colors as well. So I have the Versamark, and then I'm using our basic black archival. And if you go back 2 videos on my YouTube channel, this was the same one, the same colors that I used to emboss the cute little purse. So if you remember that, I can. If I remember that, I will link it up here on this video so you can watch it later. I just have to make sure I remember. Okay, you ink it up in your Versamark first, and then you ink it. First thing I need to do is make sure I have my embossing powder ready. This is the clear embossing powder, so I'm going to ink it next on our basic black, and then I'm just stamping it right in the middle as well as I can without rocking it. So I have my Happy Birthday, and I'm going to go ahead and just pour the clear embossing powder over the top, shake it off, and I'm going to set all of this aside. Put everything away when you get a second. And now I'm going to be using our heat tool. We have 2 settings. We have the one for just drying different things. There's some ink that might take a little bit of time to dry on different paper. The 2 is for the heat embossing. And I will just put this on here. And I will zoom this in so you can see. It doesn't take very long on the vellum paper to emboss. It's pretty fast. So you'll see it changing color. Lift this up a little bit. There we go. Okay, so what this is doing, it's melting the embossing powder on here. Okay, and if it'll as it cools off, it'll flatten up a bit. All right, now we're going to finish up this card. Let me show you how to put the embossing powder back into your little jar in case you've never done it this way. And I loaned my cute little organized, my assistant went home with my embossing powder container, so I had to do it this way. So you just folded it, I folded a piece of paper in half, and then I just was able to pour it right back in there. And I'll put my lid on, and now I can finish up this card with all the fun colors. I did something a little bit different with this card than I did on my other cards. So let's put this beautiful card together. What I absolutely love about this paper is this looks like pattern paper that I would have bought already colored. And the best part is that you can customize it to your project. So whatever colors you want to work with are the colors that you color this background. All right, let's start with our thick Whisper White cardstock. This is cut at 5.5 by 8.5 inches. And I'm going to use my Stampin' trimmer, and I'm going to score it. It has a cutting blade and a scoring blade. I'm going to score it at 4 1/4. I'm going to fold this in half here and just set it aside. Now I'm going to start 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. I'm using all of this fun color that I pulled out of the colors that I use. Look at that. I wanted to use all of the cardstock except for the yellow from this and the pink. So I pulled out some other fun bright colors. And these are all cut. Let me start, and I'll start with the basic black. The basic black is cut at 4 inches by 5 1/4. Okay? And then we'll start with the pool next. We're not starting because we've already started. The next color is Pool Party, and this is cut at 2 inches by 3 3/4. Okay? Put some of our snail adhesive on that. And I'm gonna have this on the left side. We have the weirdest weather here in Utah. How is it where you guys live? It was snowing last night, snowing this morning. Now the sun's out, it's all melted. So welcome to Utah, right? You never know what you're gonna get. Okay, now we have the Bermuda Bay cardstock. This is cut the same, but I'm gonna tell you the sizes again. 2 inches by 3 3/4. And I'm going to have this on this side. And I just make sure when I'm putting this down, I try to line up with the sides, and then I try to make sure that it's equal on the top and on the bottom. So that way, if you're like me, I'm a little OCD, but I understand that this is homemade and it's going to not be perfect. And that's exactly why I love homemade crafts, is because they're not perfect. You know that you made them. Someone has texted me a million times. I'm so sorry about that. I'm not editing that out today. Wow. That's a lot of text messages. Okay, this is Rich Razzleberry. And at the very end, if you watch this video to the very end, I will have all of the color Stampin Blends with their item codes on the screen for you to make it easier. All right, so I'm just going to put this on here. So isn't that fun? I have 3 different colors for my background. And now I'm going to go ahead and add this on here. And remember, we had cut this down to 3.5 by 4 3/4. Add some of my snail adhesive on there. Let's see, I'm gonna do it like this. Okay, and then there'll be a border of the 3 colors around the sides. Isn't that nice? And now we're just going to put the vellum strip. I don't want it exactly in the middle, I just kind of want it down here, like this. Happy birthday, so I'll just turn it over and I'll just fold it. Very easy, isn't that? And then I'm just going to lift these up and I'll put some snail adhesive, put them back down, lift it up, snail adhesive, put it back down, and now while it's upside down, I can add the snail adhesive. This also reinforces the vellum, so it'll stay on there a little bit better. Make sure I have that so it's not crooked. Okay. I think my happy birthday is a little crooked, but that's okay. So I have this card here finished, and then I have this card that I made earlier today to share with you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. This is absolutely one of my most favorite cards, favorite techniques, and I hope you enjoyed it too. Again, you can find me at mypinkstamper.com, and you can find all of these items directly on my shopping page, mypinkstamper.stampinup.net. Don't forget, if this is the first time ordering from me, you'll also get a free set of catalogs in the mail directly from me with your thank you gift and your hand-stamped card. I will see you soon. Bye-bye.